if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get
Marriage. How Jungkook can ask me to marry him? It's wrong. Wiping my tears, I mustered up some courage and went to the upstairs to the Uncle Jeon's study room. With trembling hands, I knocked at the door and he let me come in. There he was sitting in his big, relaxing wooden chair while observing some files. I saw him and tears began to come down on my cheeks. Uncle Jeon looked at me, frowning, and then walking to me, he gently caressed my hair. Uncle Jeon Jungkook, I mumbled between the sobbing. What's the matter, my little princess? He asked politely. Jungkook is asking me to marry him. He's so bad. He came to me and then started asking me to marry him, I said, crying heavily. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry, dear, but I can't do anything in this regard. You will have to marry him. It's for your betterment, he said and left the study room. My feet frozen on the ground while jaw dropped. Hearing this, I always took Uncle Jeon as my father and treated his family like my own. But why all of a sudden they are favoring Jungkook? Did they take me his home as I could marry his son? I thought to myself and then ran to my bedroom and falling myself on the bed, I cried to my heart out. Today is my wedding day. Miss June made me sit on the ornate vanity surrounded by a bustle of makeup artists. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest. The air is thick with the scent of hairspray as the expertly style my hair and applies the makeup on my face. Last night I tried to escape through the room window, but how one could escape Mafia? Jungkook caught me and pulled me down from the window. He took me to the room where I slept on the bed while he on the couch. Right now, these makeup artists are applying makeup on my face for 50th time, as every time they apply makeup I ruin it by sweating and crying heavily. Well, I am really enjoying to tease them. Ruining my makeup for the 6th time, they left my face to look natural by applying a light tint and red lipstick. I know who command them now. Finally, I was slipped into a beautiful white gown. I can't help but feel trapped in it. The thought of getting married in just few hours seems daunting. It's true that I like Jungkook, but I didn't want everything to happen like this. I didn't want that. Instead, I wanted him to propose me once I complete my graduation. Once I was completely ready, the makeup artist left me alone in the room. I have been home. While my hands were fidgeting with the delicate lace of the gown, I looked through the room window and I could see there were a lot of guests, which raised my anxiety. I was sweating heavily, but all of a sudden there was a knock on the door, but no one entered in. I walked to the door, taking slow steps. The door was already creaked open, so I carefully looked outside and found two men in black suits were whispering to each other. Their voice was audible enough to be heard by me. Well, my listening sense is good too. I feel happy for this girl now. Boss Jungkook is such a nice man, otherwise who marries any girl to save her from Mafia? He whispered in other's man's ear. Yeah, head boss is also a nice man. They commanded his own son to marry a girl in order to save her, he said slowly. My feet frozen on the ground, hearing that as I slowly tiptoed and came inside the room. Jungkook is marrying me to save me? Isn't it the same Mafia, my dad? No, they are looking for me. How I could think negative about Uncle Jeon. I also regretted about Jungkook last night when he took me to his room. He was really shocked at that time. Probably it was his first time getting by someone. Oh, Ryan, how you could be so dumb. Suddenly the door knocked and I cleared my throat sitting on the ornate chair. It was Mrs. Jeon who gave me a wide smile as soon as she approached me. She looked at me from head to toe with teary eyes. You look breathtakingly beautiful. I feel lucky to have you as my daughter-in-law. The day my eyes laid on you, I just wished to see you as my bunny's wife, and now it's happening, she said, wiping off her tears. I looked at her, but I remained quiet and continued looking at my reflection in the mirror. Mrs. June held my hand softly, helping me to get up from the chair, and we walked to the outside. I was standing before the imposing figure of Jungkook, who was staring at me with his intense dark eyes. He was looking so handsome in a black shiny tuxedo. At the moment I lost into him, but soon I was snapped back to the reality when priest asked me to take the vows. After some time, you may kiss the bride, he said warmly. Jungkook stared at me with a warm smile, and my heart started to get intensively faster. The world around me became the hazy blur, and my feet seemed to freeze on the ground. I felt lost into a daze, and details of my stories faded away, leaving me with a sense of disorientation. I was snapped out of the haze when Jungkook me all of a sudden. My eyes grew wider and heartbeat started to get out of my control. But the kiss was so warm that I couldn't resist and kissed him back. I'm sure that Jungkook was startled and stunned at the same time while his heartbeat was getting faster too, which made me smirk internally. You were taken in Jungkook's room, which was decorated with rose petals and scented candles. You were laying on the bed and Jungkook was laying beside you, staring at you from behind as your bike was facing him. But suddenly the door knocked and he got up from the bed and walking to the door he opened it. It was Mrs. Jeon, who gave him a warm smile. You lifted your head up and seeing your mother-in-law, you quickly sat on the bed, tucking a strand of your hair behind your ear. Mom, why you came? Is everything okay? He asked softly. Actually, son, you know about our ritual, so I came to remind you. I mean, as you are married now, it's important to respect our family, she said slowly while looking at you. You couldn't get it, as she was almost whispering. Jungkook nodded shyly while scrunching his nose, and then his mom left the room, leaving him nervous and shy behind. I know why you married me, Jungkook, so don't act so innocent, she said, looking at him with narrowed eyes. Jungkook gulped, sitting on the bed. What you know? He asked, smiling nervously. To protect me from my dad's rivals, you married me, you said, looking into his eyes. But how? He stuttered, forcing a smile. It's not important. What necessary is that you hid it from me. You are so broad, you know, you could have told me instead of asking me to marry you. You almost yelled at him. I'm sorry, but I was afraid that if I tell you earlier, they would harm you, so I kept it a secret. I was gonna tell you tonight as my men have flown them away. I just got the news, he said, showing you the notification. You looked at his mobile phone and then hummed. Okay, let's sleep then, you said coldly, but Jungkook didn't fall on the bed and getting up he wore his slippers, looking at you from behind. I'm not sleepy anymore, he said in his cold voice and then went downstairs. Right now I'm so pissed off at Yin. I know I married her to save her, but now she couldn't sleep. Does she really knows it's... Or is she mad? She's lying beside me on my bed. I have emotions and I like her too. If I doesn't like her, then why would I say yes to the marriage without wasting a second? But I don't think so. She remembered that we both are married now. She was laying on the bed so peacefully that as if nobody else existed. I was in the kitchen and opening the cabinet. I took out a drink and pouring it into the glass. I sipped it quickly. And then the second, third, and so on. I don't remember how much. Uh, Two kitchens, why they are twinning. I think they are also siblings like Felix and me, he said, roaming in the kitchen with a blurry vision. The world around Jungkook was fading away while he was walking upstairs in a tipsy state. Reaching the room, he opened the door and then locking it, he smirked. It's ritual time, party, party, yeah, he giggled walking to you. Jungkook looked at your face and smiled. Suddenly you got up panicking and sighed in a relief and you saw it was Jungkook, not other any mafia. What happened? You asked, yawning and sat on the bed while rubbing your eyes. He didn't say anything and continued giggling. Jungkook. Who? You asked, looking at his face, which made him chuckle. Because you are not letting me fulfill the family ritual. You didn't love me, Mayani. He said, crying loudly. Stop crying. Who said I don't love you? I love you, Jungkook. That's why I am with you. You said, holding his hand and then making him sit on the bed beside you. Hee, you love me, Mayani, then let's fulfill our family ritual, he said, holding your both hands while jumping on the bed like a small baby. What is that? You asked, confused. Jungkook let out a chuckle while making bed, but he said, the next morning, the sun finally rising up while birds chirping sound could be heard from the huge room window. You opened your eyes slowly and looked around, realizing it's Monday morning already. You looked next to you, but surprisingly, Jungkook was not there. An unknown smile crept on your lips when you remembered about him, which was surely best night of your life. But suddenly you mentally facepalmed yourself when you remembered that Jungkook still married you. Though his intention was good, he just wanted to save your life, but instead of asking you for marriage, he could just tell you simply or make you aware of the whole situation. Thinking that, you took a deep sigh and taking a little to get up from the bed, you went to the bathroom for taking a warm shower. After a few minutes, you came back in your room and walked to the huge closet which you will probably share with Jungkook. Opening it, your eyes widened as it had a lot of new clothes which were hung up nightly. New clothes? When did they hang them here? You thought to yourself and took out a red dress. Slipping into it, you walked to the huge vanity where a variety of makeup products and branded wristwatches and expensive jewelry was placed. Is this all for me? Thinking that you wore a elegant diamond necklace and bracelet in your hand before descending to the downstairs. You came downstairs and saw Jungkook sitting on the dining table along with his parents. It seemed like they all were waiting for you. You looked at Jungkook, who looked back at you with a smile, but rolling your eyes, you walked to the dining table. Good morning, Ryan, he said, smiling. You didn't respond and then sat on the chair beside Felix, which made Jungkook frown. She was okay, then what happened to her all of a sudden? He thought to himself while looking at you. Dear, I hope you had a nice sleep, he said, chewing the food. Yes, uncle, I had a nice sleep, you said, and looked at Jungkook, who was blushing slightly. Dear, don't call him uncle, just call him dad from now on, she said, and warmly smiled at you. You nodded, forcing a smile, and noticed that Jungkook's gaze was fixed on you. He was staring at your face all the time, which made you gulp down. Hey Vayan, don't you think that I'll be using you after you became my brother's wife? I will teach you as I used to live, Vayan, he said, giving you a teethy grin. You let out a small chuckle looking at his face, which made your Mafia husband jealous. Why didn't she return me the same smile? Why she is ignoring me all of a sudden? He thought to himself, staring at both of you. Jungkook was thinking that after night you got scared of him. Maybe that's why you were behaving like that. He wanted to tell you that you don't need to be scared of him, but he will show you that you deserve only his love and affection. He will always treat you like a queen. Well, after marrying Jungkook, you own the title of Queen of Mafias. Because in Mafias world, Jungkook was the one who was considered as a king because of his powerful aura and his dangerous personality. In Mafia's world, being a queen is really a big thing and one must choose it wisely. Especially the king should take small steps when he has to make the girl queen of his heart because she will hold the future of an upcoming mafia and 50% power will be in her hands. But Jungkook didn't think of anything about this. All he just wanted to save you because he knew once you became the mafia's queen, no one will dare to look at you even. And to large extent it was true because if someone hurt you, that gang will be punished by other mafia gangs, as it was written in Mafia's law book. After finishing the food, Jungkook got an important call, so he had to leave along with his dad. You were sitting in the living room watching a TV when Felix came to you smiling. Hey Ryan, why are you watching this boring show? Let's watch something exciting, he said, snatching a remote from your hand. You said, loudly moving your fingers in air. Poor Ryan still doesn't know how to catch someone, he said, playing another video. You glared at him while crossing your arms over your chest. Hey, don't be sad. Take the remote and play whatever you want. I'll just sit here like a silent spectator and will give you company, he said, smiling widely. You smiled back, taking a remote from his hands. At least he is way better than his elder brother, who married with his word, not with me, you said to yourself and groaned. While you both were laughing at the movie, suddenly the main door opened, revealing Jeon Jungkook along with his father. Maid came to them running and taking overcoats from them. She bowed and then left. Mr. Jeon went to his room while Jeon Jungkook walked to the living room, and his jaw tightened when he saw you sitting on Netflix and watching a movie, which made him sigh in relief. This girl feels comfortable with me only, he thought to himself, glaring at you. Oppa, when you came back, he asked, putting the TV show. Pausing the TV show, you looked at Jungkook and then rolled your eyes, which made him more pissed off. When you both were engrossed in watching a movie and laughing, he said, giving you both cold stare. You looked at him as he shot you a stare, making you scoff. Hey Vayani, you must get bored watching a movie and staying home. Well, there is an ice cream parlor here nearby our mansion. Let's go and have an ice cream, he said with an excitement. Though you didn't want to go, but noticing that jealous expression on Jungkook's face, you nodded with the same excitement as Felix. Enough, she is my wife, not yours. If she wants to go somewhere, she can ask me directly, he said in his cold voice. His voice was enough to make Felix keep quiet. His glare made Felix back away from you. Well, I don't think so that I am craving for ice cream anymore, you said, yawning fakely. Felix smiled at you while Jungkook groaned. Let's watch a movie together, Ryan. What you say? He said, mustering up some courage while forcing a smile. Okay, fine. Hey, Felix, why don't you join us? You said as you saw Felix getting up from the couch. Jungkook was about to say no, but Felix cut him off by saying okay and smiled. He sat beside you while Jungkook was trying to control his anger. Felix, you look cute when you smile, you said all of a sudden, only to make your dear Mafia husband more jealous. Ah, you are also cute, Vayani, he said. Anger level reached its end as he glared at you badly. Why the hell is that little broad hugging my wife? Why she is calling him cute? Am I joke to them or they think of me as a joker? He said to himself, clenching his jaw tightly. He got up from the couch and messing up his hair, he glared at you with his intense dark eyes. He took you to the upstairs, leaving Felix shocked behind. Locked the door while breathing heavily. You got scared, seeing him while walking to you. He whispered with a smirk.